Fellow gardeners, beneath every thriving plant lies an entire universe teeming with life. While we admire the beauty above ground, the real magic happens in the dark, mysterious world of soil where billions of microorganisms work tirelessly to support plant health. Today, we're diving deep into this hidden ecosystem to unlock the secrets of building truly living soil that will transform your gardening experience forever. Imagine soil as a bustling metropolis where bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, and countless other organisms form intricate relationships that would make any city planner envious. This complex network, known as the soil food web, operates on principles of mutual benefit and resource sharing that have evolved over millions of years. When you understand this system, you'll realize that healthy soil isn't just about adding fertilizer, it's about creating conditions where this underground community can thrive. The foundation of this ecosystem begins with bacteria, the most numerous residents of our soil city. These microscopic powerhouses decompose organic matter, fix nitrogen from the atmosphere, and produce plant hormones that stimulate growth. Working alongside them are fungi, the internet cables of the soil world, whose thread-like hyphae extend plant root systems by up to 1,000 times their original reach. Together, these organisms create a living network that efficiently moves nutrients, water, and information throughout your garden. Building living soil starts with selecting the right ingredients, much like preparing a gourmet meal. Your base mix should prioritize drainage and aeration while providing a stable foundation for microbial life. Coco coir serves as an excellent sustainable alternative to peat moss, offering superior water retention and pH stability. When combined with high-quality compost, particularly worm castings, you're introducing millions of beneficial microorganisms that will form the backbone of your soil ecosystem. So, the secret to exceptional drainage really lies in your aeration materials. Pumice, with its volcanic origins, provides permanent air pockets that just won't compress over time. Perlite offers similar benefits, but, it may float to the surface with repeated watering. Wood chips, aged for at least 6 months, not only improve drainage but also slowly decompose to feed fungal networks. The key here is achieving a balance where water moves freely through the soil while still maintaining adequate moisture for plant roots and soil organisms. Organic matter serves as both food and habitat for your soil community. Aged leaves, straw, and cover crop residues provide carbon-rich materials that fungi particularly love. These materials decompose slowly, creating stable organic matter that improves soil structure and water-holding capacity. When mixing your base, aim for a ratio that feels like a wrung-out sponge when squeezed, moist but not waterlogged. Compost tea represents one of the most powerful tools in the living soil gardener's arsenal. This isn't simply steeping compost in water, it's a carefully orchestrated brewing process that multiplies beneficial microorganisms by millions. When properly made, compost tea delivers a concentrated dose of bacteria, fungi, and their metabolic products directly to plant roots and soil organisms. The brewing process begins with high-quality compost or worm castings as your microbial starter culture. Aeration is crucial. These beneficial organisms need oxygen to thrive and multiply. Without proper aeration, anaerobic conditions develop, creating harmful compounds that can damage plants and soil life. A simple aquarium pump with an air stone can provide the necessary oxygen for a 24 to 48-hour brewing period. Adding organic nutrients to your tea feeds the microorganisms during brewing, allowing them to multiply exponentially. Unsulfured molasses serves as readily available sugar for bacteria, while kelp meal provides trace minerals and growth hormones. Fish emulsion supplies nitrogen and other nutrients that support both bacterial and fungal growth. The finished tea should have an earthy, pleasant aroma, never putrid or sour, which indicates harmful anaerobic conditions. Perhaps no relationship in the soil ecosystem is more remarkable than the partnership between plants and mycorrhizal fungi. These specialized fungi form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, creating an extended root system that can increase nutrient and water uptake by 100 to 1,000 times. In exchange, plants provide the fungi with carbohydrates produced through photosynthesis, creating a mutually beneficial relationship that has existed for over 400 million years. So there are two main types of mycorrhizal fungi that are really relevant to gardeners. First, we've got arbuscular mycorrhizae, which actually penetrate root cell walls and are associated with most vegetables, herbs, and grasses. Then there are ectomycorrhizae, which form a sheath around roots and are primarily linked with trees and shrubs. Understanding which type your plants prefer, well, that helps you select the right inoculants and create conditions that really favor their establishment. Commercial mycorrhizal inoculants, they're honestly an excellent starting point for establishing these relationships in new soil mixes or containers, but, the real magic happens when you create conditions that support native fungal populations, avoiding soil disturbance, minimizing synthetic fertilizers, and keeping those organic matter levels up. All of that encourages natural mycorrhizal development. Once these fungal networks are established, they can stick around for years, continuously improving both soil structure and plant health. The no-till revolution in gardening, it really comes from understanding how soil disturbance affects the intricate web of life below ground. Every time we dig or till, we're basically demolishing the underground city that soil organisms have carefully built. Fungal networks, which can take months or even years to establish, get severed. Soil structure created by microbial glues and fungal threads is destroyed. The result? Compacted, lifeless soil that needs constant inputs just to keep productivity up. No-till methods work by adding organic matter to the soil surface rather than mixing it in. This kind of mimics natural forest systems, where leaves and organic debris just decompose on the surface, feeding soil organisms that incorporate nutrients into the soil profile. Sheet mulching, where layers of organic matter are applied directly to the soil surface, creates perfect conditions for soil organisms to thrive, while also suppressing weeds and, retaining moisture. In container gardening, no-till principles translate to top dressing with compost worm castings and organic amendments rather than dumping and replacing entire soil volumes. This approach maintains the established microbial communities while continuously feeding them fresh organic matter. Plants grown in no-till systems often show improved disease resistance, better drought tolerance, and enhanced nutrient uptake compared to those grown in frequently disturbed soils. Creating thriving soil ecosystems requires understanding what different organisms need to flourish. Bacteria generally prefer nitrogen-rich materials like fresh compost, grass clippings, and food scraps. Fungi, on the other hand, thrive on carbon-rich materials such as aged wood chips, straw, and dried leaves. Balancing these inputs creates conditions where both bacterial and fungal populations can coexist and, honestly, really support plant health. Kelp meal serves as an excellent all-around amendment, providing over 70 trace minerals along with natural plant hormones and growth regulators. Its slow-release nature feeds soil organisms over extended periods while improving plant stress tolerance. Rock dust, particularly basalt and granite, provides mineral nutrients in forms that mycorrhizal fungi can slowly release to plants over years. Bone meal and fish meal supply phosphorus and calcium in organic forms that won't disrupt soil chemistry like synthetic fertilizers. However, these amendments work best when incorporated into an active soil food web, where microorganisms can break them down and make nutrients available to plants. Without sufficient microbial activity, these organic amendments remain largely unavailable to plants. Adapting living soil principles to container gardening requires understanding the unique challenges of restricted root zones and drainage. Containers dry out more quickly than garden beds, potentially stressing beneficial soil organisms. However, the controlled environment of containers also allows for more precise management of soil conditions and easier monitoring of plant health. So, successful container living soil systems, they really start with having the right size. Larger containers actually help maintain more stable moisture and temperature, which, really favors microbial life. Drainage is super important, but it needs to be balanced with water retention, and adding water-absorbing materials like coconut coir or aged compost, well, that just helps keep moisture levels consistent without causing waterlogging. The key to long-term success in containers is, honestly, continuous feeding of the soil food web. monthly applications of compost tea, quarterly top dressing with worm castings, and annual additions of fresh organic matter, these all help keep the ecosystem vibrant and productive. Container plants grown in living soil systems often outperform those grown in sterile potting mixes, showing, improved disease resistance and much more robust growth. Once established, living soil systems need a different kind of maintenance than conventional gardens. Instead of focusing on plant nutrition with fertilizer applications, maintenance is really about supporting soil organism health and activity. Regular additions of organic matter, protection from extreme temperatures, and maintaining the right moisture levels, these are what keep the soil ecosystem functioning at its best. Monitoring soil health really becomes an ongoing practice rather than just a one-time soil test. It's kind of like keeping an eye on the pulse of your garden, observing earthworm activity, noting the presence of beneficial insects, and watching how quickly organic matter decomposes. These all provide valuable insights into the health of your soil ecosystem. And hey, don't forget that healthy living soil should have a rich, earthy smell. It should also have good aggregate structure and visible biological activity. It's all about maintaining that vibrant living soil, folks. The beauty of living soil systems really lies in their self-regulating nature. As the soil food web matures, it actually becomes more and more resilient to environmental stresses and, it needs fewer external inputs. Plants grown in mature living soil systems often need less water, show greater disease resistance, and, honestly, they produce more flavorful fruits and vegetables. Building a living soil ecosystem is, honestly, more than just a gardening technique. It's a partnership with nature that rewards patience with abundance. Every shovelful of compost, every application of compost tea, and every decision to avoid synthetic inputs, all of that contributes to a thriving underground community that will support your plants for years to come. The transformation won't happen overnight, but, the rewards are definitely worth the investment. As your soil ecosystem develops, you'll start to notice plants growing more vigorously, pest problems decreasing, and soil that actually feels alive in your hands. This is gardening in harmony with natural systems, creating abundance while building soil health for future generations. If this guide has inspired you to begin your living soil journey, don't forget to subscribe to Smart Garden for more in-depth gardening wisdom, and, hey, share this video with fellow gardeners who are ready to discover the secret life beneath their feet. Together we can grow healthier gardens and a healthier planet, one handful of living soil at a time.